and our only win condition right now is through Arcanine, and we were kind of lucky we got him at the very early stage, so we were able to really power our way through and just win the game based off that. Of course, for this game now, we do have a water type in our opposition, and that means that I do not want to put out any fire Pokemon because they're weak to water. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and put this on my bench, but he's just there as a backup. I don't really want him to be doing anything. I don't want him to be fighting any water types, again, because we are at a disadvantage over here, a very heavy disadvantage. So we're just gonna go ahead and play this item. It has no restrictions. It just helps us choose our prizes better later on. And because we are going first, remember that you cannot attack on your first turn, but I do want to load him up with 4 energy cards as soon as possible so that he can attack. Oh, sorry, we did not start first, but I couldn't attack anyway just because I don't have the required energies. So that's all we can do. So he has run Bubble again. Bubble, it's just a status affliction. It's not gonna do any damage. He could have used the Crab Hammer, but that's 30 damage. But remember that Snorlax has this very useful ability. It's gonna reduce any damage by 30, so he was not going to do any damage anyway, so he was quite smart to try to afflict me with some status, but he failed in that. So right now we are in quite a bit of the bind because we do not have any more energy cards. Hopefully this is one? No, it's not. And so we cannot do anything this turn. We just have to wait for our 4th and final energy card to be able to attack. And so we are kind of caught in the same situation, both of us, because he cannot do damage to us, I cannot do damage to him, so it's a bit of a stalemate right now. Oh, good. So we've gotten Taurus over here. It's quite a good Pokemon, especially for us, for this weak deck that we have. But again, he did manage to kind of inflict status on us, so we can't do anything still. We'll just have to keep this game going. So our opponent, he has loaded up on some Pokemon over there. They're nothing too great at the moment, nothing too scary. So my immediate concern is just on the guy that's right in front of me. This guy with 60 HP, and what we have to do is hope for a 8 hits. So I think to myself, are there any Pokemon that I really want? And the only one, remember, our deck is really weak, so we only have a strong Pokemon in Arcanine, which is the evolution of Growlithe over here. But remember, because we are fighting a water deck type opponent, so it's not going to be very useful to find our Arcanine and treat him as our win condition, because he's not going to win us any games. So I'm not going to use any of my training cards over here, so we're just going to go ahead and attack and hope it's heads. It is. We do have enough damage and he's knocked out. That's wonderful. That's our first prize for us. And let's see what we are going to choose as our prize. And I'm going to go ahead and choose. So I just want to double check the HPs that they have. And this is the only one that's 70, and I'm just gonna, and this one as well, 100. So what I'm gonna do is actually choose this card, because this allows us to deal 20 more damage. The second option, 20 more damage to your opponent. And what I want to do with that is, just give me a second. I'm just gonna put that over here. That's right. And the reason for that is because I want to be able to knock out this guy over here with the 100 HP in one hit. So if you can see my Snorlax, if we get a hit, it's 80 damage, plus 20, it's 100. So if we get lucky enough, it's really enough to knock him out at the first go. So we'll see. This guy has a damage reduction of 20, and that's why we were only able to deal 30 damage over here, but that's okay. We knew that we needed 2 hits to secure a kill anyway, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just hit him one more time. It doesn't really matter whether it's heads or tails because he's gonna receive 30 minimum damage, and yeah, that's wonderful. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up an energy card. The other one was not very useful because as you can see here, you may discard an energy card in order to draw more from your deck. It's not very useful for us because obviously we do not have enough energy cards to put in play or to discard them. So I'm gonna go ahead and check my discard pile here. It's nothing, no energy cards as of yet. And let's look at our opponent. It's 60 HP with a 10 damage, possibly 30 damage if it gets hit. But that's still enough for us to tank it because again, it's a very nice passive ability over here, damage reduction. That's wonderful. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put my energy card on to no, not yet. I'm gonna hold on to it because I want to have one spare just in case. You know, you never know when an opponent might throw out a trainer card, so it's just very nice to have just one of those in your hand. Again, we're not in any sort of a rush over here because my Snorlax is still extremely healthy. None of his Pokemon can really damage me. So yep. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play this guy. There's not any such penalty for doing so. So we'll have a look, and we'll probably choose this one. This is a very useful trainer card. He allows us to switch one of your opponent's Pokemon with his bench. So that's the most useful one I'm gonna pick up here. So of course, because we've already played one supporter card, you are only allowed to play maximum 1 during your turn. We cannot play any other supporter cards denoted by the yellow, orange sort of marker at the bottom over here. So earlier I was talking about this guy, and he allows you to do 20 more damage, which is very useful if I want to secure a one-hit KO on this Pokemon over here. But at this moment there's no really any sort of rush to do that because as you can see, once he attaches 1 energy, he cannot damage me, so there's really no rush. I'm just gonna go ahead and take my time to eliminate this Pokemon, and now I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up. So at this point, I'm just gonna go and analyze our cards that we have. The first thing we want to do is play the stadium cards. So stadium cards are a bit special. You can only have 1 in play at all times, and what this does is allow us to discard an energy card in order to draw 2 more cards from your hand. From your deck. So because we do have an extra energy card over here, and because also I know that our prize pool has a lot of energy cards, I feel safe in doing so. Oh, I have to click this first. Okay. And I'm just gonna draw more cards. I don't really need them at this point, but it's just nice to, you know, why not? So the second thing I'm gonna consider is whether I want to play this card or not, the extra 20 damage. So I do want to hold off on that because I want to try and secure a kill onto this guy. As you can see, he already has 2 energy cards attached to him. So basically the opponent what he has to do is to choose between putting his eggs onto this Carcella basket or to this Alumumulla basket. And if I were him, I would choose to put it that over here. So this is what I'm saving for. So I'm just gonna go ahead, put it there, and lastly, attack. Well, wonderful, we were lucky again. So we were able to kill him off in one strike, and that does mean that the opponent has no time now to really put any more energy cards onto his 100 HP Pokemon over here. So of course, again, with my passive, he's not going to be able to damage me at all. And I'm just going to go ahead and knock him out. Oh, I forgot to put this one for a faster kill, but just because, you know, I feel so safe, I know that there's no way this guy can damage me, so I'm just gonna go ahead. Yep. And that's it for this trainer challenge. So initially it looked to be quite scary because water, as we know, counters fire. But we were very lucky to have been able to draw Snorlax on the first go. Oh, and look at this, we have a Persian card now. So we are slowly upgrading our deck over here.